Hi students, today we want to discuss about the properties of chloroform. Okay, here properties of chloroform. The chloroform properties. First, physical properties. Physical properties of chloroform. Here, physical properties of chloroform means first point is it is a colorless sweet smelling, sweet smelling, sweet smelling liquid. Colorless, sweet smelling liquid. And second point is its boiling point is 61 degrees Celsius. And third point is it is having more density. The density is more than water, more than water. Chloroform density is more than water. And next point, it is insoluble. It is insoluble in water and soluble in organic solvents. It is soluble in organic solvents. Okay. So it is soluble in organic solvents. The next point here, chloroform chemical properties, physical properties. These are physical properties. We'll give the chemical properties next. The next, chemical properties of chloroform. Here in the chemical properties of chloroform, the first one is reaction with air. Reaction with air. When it is kept in the atmospheric air for a long time or if it is exposed to sunlight, chloroform undergoes to oxidation very easily. It is undergoing to oxidation and then it is forming COCl2 plus HCl. Okay, here this is forming COCl2 and HCl is removed. And the formation of COCl2, this is called as a carbonyl chloride or it is also called as phosgene. It is a very dangerous and poisonous gas. It is phosgene is a poisonous and dangerous gas, and here harmful. It is harmful to human. And how this phosgene formed or not, how we can check, or whether the chloroform is pure or not, how we can check. Suppose if it is given for someone, if he is alive, okay. If he is dead, then we can check chloroform is converted to phosgene. Okay, can we check in that way? No. So there is a test for this. In this first one is chloroform when converting blue litmus. Blue litmus. Blue litmus is converted to red litmus. Then it contains HCl. If HCl is present, what happens? Acid na HCl. Then it converts blue litmus into red litmus. That is the first test. And second test, we can check by using silver nitrate. Silver nitrate reacts with HCl and it is forming AgNO3 precipitate. A white precipitate of silver nitrate is formed. Whenever this AgNO3 formation occurs, AgCl, it is AgCl formation and HNO3. Okay, the silver chloride white precipitate formation also indicates the presence of phosgene or the formation of phosgene, and chloroform is called as impure chloroform. If this is not converted to red litmus or if it is not forming white precipitate, we can say chloroform is pure. Then what we can do? So, generally chloroform is used as a local anesthetic. local anesthetic. So it is used as an anesthesia. So in olden days, actually it is administered before surgery by the doctors. Generally, doctors may feel like after that doing surgery, they may die. Generally, patient will die. But before doing surgery, also some patients are dying. Why those patients are dying even without surgery? The doctor surprised, and later on they found that is not because of their fear, because of the anesthesia given for them. The anesthesia which is given for them is chloroform, but that is converted into the form of phosgene. If the chloroform contains any percentage of phosgene, then they are getting harm because of this phosgene gas, and it causes death to that patients. So the phosgene formation is first detected, then only it is administered or it is used for the patients. Otherwise, it will leads to death. Okay. And next, here how we can check means by using these tests. And suppose if phosgene is present, or what we will do is, suppose if chloroform is taken, even it contains a phosgene, then this is treated with 1% ethyl alcohol. This is carbonyl chloride. This is treated with 1% ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol means C2H5OH and C2H5OH. Even if there is a small amount of chloroform containing phosgene, this is phosgene, then this 1% ethyl alcohol 1% ethyl alcohol will convert that phosgene into harmless. This is C double bond O. And here what is present? HCl is removed. OC2H5. OC2H5. And this is OC2H5. Or we can write this as simple formula C2H5 taken twice CO3. This is called as diethyl carbonate. The diethyl carbonate formation occurs along with minus 2HCl. 2HCl molecules are removed. This diethyl carbonate is non-poisonous. This is non-poisonous. Okay. So the patients cannot have any harm because of this diethyl carbonate. Okay. So whenever the chloroform is taken, first we need to check if they contains phosgene or not. If it contains phosgene, then better to not use for that. And chloroform contain phosgene or not, how we can check means by using these two tests. When it is converting blue litmus red litmus, or if silver nitrate is reacting with HCl present in the phosgene gas along with HCl is present, and if white precipitate is formed, then it is polluted or it is poisoned, means phosgene is present. Okay, that is even if phosgene is present, sometimes 1% ethyl alcohol is added to the chloroform, which convert the phosgene into diethyl carbonate, which is a harmless compound. Okay, and prevention, how we can prevent the formation of phosgene? Generally, what they will do is the chloroform bottles. Generally, if you saw any water bottle or any other bottles, they can be filled nearly 80% or 90% only. They give some gap here. Suppose this is a water bottle, for example, or any other bottle, then it is filled like this. They will leave some gap for it. Air gap is there. But chloroform bottles, if you are taking, it must be filled till the brim or till the cap of the bottle. Till the cap of the bottle completely filled. It is not giving any air gap is not left over, and here this is filled completely. No air gap or no air space is allowed. If air gap is allowed, then that undergoes to oxidation easily. Okay, up to the brim or cap of the bottle, we can fill the chloroform. That is first prevention. Second one, aerial oxidation occurs in the presence of sunlight. Generally, it is stored in cool and dark places. Third point, it is stored in amber colored bottles. You know amber colored bottles. A syrup bottle color, this is a amber colored bottle. This is a syrup bottle. So this is amber color. So this type of color is called as amber colored bottle. In this amber colored bottles, if it is stored, then the aerial oxidation is also prevented. So there are the precautions taken for not forming this phosgene, poisonous phosgene gas. Okay, this is oxidation process of chloroform. The next property, hydrolysis. Hydrolysis process of chloroform. And in this hydrolysis process, we are taking chloroform. This is 3 chlorine atoms, chloroform. It is treated with aqueous NaOH or KOH. Aqueous KOH or NaOH is used. Then what happens is 3 NaOH groups or 3 KOH will react with the chloroform. Then it is first forming CH, and here the Cl is replaced with OH group 1 and second OH group and third OH group, and this is 3 NaCl or 3 KCl is formed, minus 3 NaCl or 3 KCl. Okay, but we know that 2 OH groups if present on a carbon, it is unstable, but here 3 OH groups are present, it is highly unstable, so it loses water molecule. It loses water molecule, so we can remove the water molecule from this. If you remove the water molecule, what is remaining? HCOOH. So here it is called as HCO. This is I am writing like this, HCOOH. This is called as formic acid. But this formic acid is highly acidic, so it reacts with again KOH or NaOH. A strong base is there, NaOH or KOH. Then it is forming HCOOK. HCOOK is formed. Potassium formate is the final product. So in this, they asked a question, how many moles of NaOH or KOH is used for the hydrolysis of chloroform? Tell me, 3 or 4? Here I wrote 3 NaCl means 3 KOH or 3 NaOH. Okay, but here the fourth one is there. Till the formation of a potassium formate, or suppose it is sodium hydroxide taken, so you'll get sodium formate. So this is called as sodium formate. Till the formation of sodium formate, the reaction occurs. So this is hydrolysis reaction of chloroform, which finally gives sodium formate. Next, third reaction, reaction with silver. Here reaction with silver powder. Reaction with silver powder. Here chloroform we are taking CHCl3, and this is reacting with silver 6Az and again CHCl3. So 2 molecules of chloroform CHCl3, CHCl3. Then it is releasing Cl3, 6Az and Cl3. What is remaining? CH and CH. So we will get CH triple bond, CH triple bond, CH plus 6AgCl is formed. This is called as acetylene or ethine is formed. So on reaction with silver powder, chloroform gives acetylene or ethine or alkynes are formed. Next, fourth chemical property, reaction with HNO3. HNO3 means nitric acid. Here I am writing chloroform. Here this is a CHCl3 chloroform reacting with HONO2. What is HONO2? Yes, this is HNO3 only. Okay, so now I am removing H from this and I am removing OH group from this. So what is removed? Minus H2O. Then what is the remaining? CCl3 is present and here NO2 is present. This is CCl3NO2. This is called as trichloronitromethane or nitrochloroform. This is a simply common name is important one. This is called as chloropicrin. This is called as chloropicrin, and this chloropicrin is used in the preparation of tear gas. This is used in the preparation of tear gas shells. So generally, when a police are using these tear gas shells or bullets like smoke bullets, smoke bombs, na, like suppose if any mob creating any disturbance in main areas or in city, then police will fire some smoke bombs or smoke bullets. Those smoke bullets contain this tear gas. Okay, that is tear gas preparation by using nitric acid on reaction with chloroform. Okay. The next property, reaction with acetone. Reaction with acetone. Here chloroform we are taking, that is CHCl3 is reacting with acetone. Here CH3 C double bond O CH3. Then in the presence of alkali, so in the presence of alkali the reaction occurs. Here this chloroform, it is separated into nucleophile and electrophile in the presence of alkali. I will give the reaction in brackets. It is not much important. OH minus and CHCl3 is converted to H2O and CCl3 minus. This CCl3 minus is a nucleophile. That CCl3 minus attacks on this carbon atom. Okay, or directly I will write here hydrogen is attacking on the oxygen atom and the remaining compound carbon and CCl3. This will attack on the carbon atom. The CCl3 attacks on the carbon atom and this bond is shifting. This bond is shifting onto this, and so what is the product formed is CH3 COH, and here it is a CCl3 and CH3. This is called as, it is common name is important. This is chloritone. Chloritone, and this chloritone is a hypnotic drug. This is a hypnotic drug. So for you people, I give this chloritone and I will hypnotize like always listen chemistry only. Okay, like that chloritone. This is a hypnotic drug, and here this is having CCl3 and OH group after the reaction with acetone. Okay, this is reaction with acetone. And next one, reaction with sodium ethoxide NaOC2H5. This is called as sodium ethoxide. Here chloroform is reacting with sodium ethoxide, that is 3 molecules of sodium ethoxide C2H5, and then this is forming here 3 chlorine atoms, 3 NaCl is removed, so minus 3 NaCl, and the ethoxide groups added in the place of chlorine. So you will get CHOC2H5 and OC2H5 and OC2H5. This is called as triethyl. This is known as triethyl orthoformate. This is called as triethyl orthoformate or ethyl orthoformate. Simply 3 ethyl groups are there, so it is called as a triethyl orthoformate. Okay, that is on reaction with sodium ethoxide. The next one is Friedel-Crafts reaction. Friedel-Crafts reaction. I think you know about the Friedel-Crafts reaction. Generally, what happens in the Friedel-Crafts reaction? So, suppose we are taking C6H6 or benzene is taken. This is reacting with CHCl3. It is like an alkyl halide. No, it is a trihalo compound, but it is an alkyl halide. In the presence of anhydrous AlCl3 aluminum chloride, when one chlorine atom is present, we can get one benzene ring or a reaction. There is three chlorine atoms, so we are taking three phenyl groups. Then what is formed means C6H5 taken thrice CH, or you can write this as a triphenyl methane. This is called as triphenyl methane. Triphenyl methane is formed. That is the product of Friedel-Crafts reaction. Friedel-Crafts alkylation only. It is simply Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction only. If it is CH3Cl, what is formed? Methyl benzene is formed. If it is CH2Cl2, you will get a diphenyl methane. If it is CHCl3, you will get triphenyl methane. And now my question is, suppose I am giving C6H6 in excess. I am telling like excess. I am not telling about number of moles. If it is CCl4 and anhydrous AlCl3 is given, anhydrous AlCl3 is given, what is the product? What is the product in this reaction? Okay? Tell me the answer in the comments box.